Today we're going to be going over the assembly of our VSD42. A couple things you guys are going to need through this assembly is going to be the rubber mallet, is going to be the screw gun, and then the nail gun. While using the nail gun, let's please always remember to use those safety goggles, and then if you would like to, please go ahead and use some safety gloves as well. Now that we've already got everything out and set out for everything, let's go ahead and get started with the assembly portion of this video. All right, guys, so to start off with, we're going to put our doors flat down, and we're going to go ahead and start with the bumpers. The thing to remember is to make sure we have some kind of soft surface underneath, whether it be a piece of cardboard, piece of carpet, or something underneath this cabinet, because we don't want your doors and or face of the cabinets to be scratched up. So we're going to put the hinges in. We're going to make sure we're going to grab the tapered edge screws, because we want to make sure that screw is flush with the hinge of the door. All right, guys, now that we're done putting the screws together, I just want to go ahead and make a note of one thing. Let's make sure not to use the pan style screw, because that will in fact go through the door and you will have to replace the door. The next thing we're going to do is move on to the frame. Let's make sure that to note that one of them is a false front, and so there's going to be two open spots for drawers, which we will get to later, but let's note that there is a false front and it will be already attached to everything, so you don't have to worry about that. So now the longer pan head screws that I was talking about is going to be the screw that you use to connect the hinge to the frame of the cabinet. So the next step is going to be our L brackets. Edgar's going to place them where the pre-hole drills are, and we're going to make sure to put the back of the L bracket, which is going to face the groove of the cabinet, because then we will be connecting those L brackets to the walls of the cabinets. All right, guys, the next portion of this, we're going to grab the side wall. We're going to make sure that at the top of this cabinet we are going to be flush, because that is going to determine whether or not we are level when installing. If these grooves do not match up, it is going to be extremely hard and probably impossible, and you will have to start over if these grooves do not match up. So guys, let's make sure we are flush at the top of these cabinets. Edgar's going to go ahead and attach the L bracket to the bottom of this cabinet so that it will stay nice and tight. Again, we have all the grooves. We want to make sure that we are nice and flush at the top. All right, guys, remember that being flush at the top is exactly what's going to allow everything to fit in there nice and tight. We are going to move on to the back panel portion of this, where we're going to grab the black style sheetrock screws that are going to go into the back side of this panel. All right, guys, now that the back panel is finished, we're going to go ahead and move on to the toe kick. Again, let's remember our safety goggles as we are using our nail gun. Also, let's note that making sure that we are flush on each side, just in case we do have one exposed edge on one of these. We have some raw wood that'll allow us to be able to put a decoration piece, which is what we here at Skyline Cabinetry like to do. We like to put an outside corner molding, some scribe or something like that, just to put a decorative piece out here on an open end cabinet. So now that we're going to go ahead and flip this up, putting this all together, we want to make sure that when putting these drawers together that we do go ahead and use nails on all of this dovetail construction, because putting these drawers in and out is going to cause them to separate, and these nails is what's going to keep it all together. All right, now that the drawer is assembled, we're going to go ahead and grab the fasteners. We're going to go make sure that this is all fastened nice and tight, because this is what we will be attaching the rails to. Hey guys, we want to make sure to remember that the small pan head screws is what we'll be using to attach these fasteners with. We want to make sure to not use anything longer than that smallest screw that we offer, because that will go through the face of your cabinet and then you will have to replace it. This is the fastener which we will be putting the rail into, and it has the ability to slide back and forth, which allows you to align the drawer face with the cabinet so that everything sits nice and square. All right, now that the fasteners are in place, we will slide the rails right in, just like so. We want to make sure that the hole from the that's in the side of the frame does line up with the railing, because we will be using the tapered screw to make sure that it is not sticking out past the railings, so it does not scratch the side of your drawers. Once the rails are done, we can open them up and go ahead and install the 2 drawers that we have for this VSD 42. Once the drawers are in, that does conclude the assembly of our VSD 42, otherwise known as the Vanity Sink Drawer Cabinets.